Good morning, students. In the last class, we are discussed about the tissues. In the last class, we are discussed about the cells, and in the last class, we are discussed about the types of tissues. We know already the types of tissues. Especially, tissues can be divided into mainly two types. One is animal tissues and the plant tissues. Animal tissue and plant tissues. Leave that animal tissues. Now see only plant tissues. Again, the plant tissues can be divided into mainly two types. One is the meristematic tissues, another one is called permanent tissues. Meristematic tissues and the permanent tissues. Dear students, in the last class we have discussed about meristematic tissues. Yes, sir. So tissues can be divided into mainly two types. Listen to me carefully. It is very important. It is very important. Tissues can be divided into mainly two types. One is the plant tissue, and the other one is what? Animal tissues. One is the plant tissues, and the other one is what? Animal tissues. Leave the animal tissues. First of all, see only plant tissues. You can see in the plant tissues there are mainly two types. One is meristematic tissues. Another one is called permanent tissues. We already discussed in the last class. Within 5 minutes, I can give that one. Okay? Meristematic tissues. Meristematic tissues has a special character, that is a cell dividing capacity. The meristematic tissues are responsible for the growth of plant bodies. The meristematic tissues are present in the growing nature. Again, the meristematic tissues can be divided into three types. One is the apical meristematic tissues, lateral meristematic tissues, and intercalary meristematic tissues. The meristematic tissues can be divided into three types: apical, lateral, intercalary, and the lateral. We know already very well about that apical. Apical tissues are the types of meristematic tissues. These are present in the tip portion, tip of the root or tip of the stem. So that is responsible for increasing the height of the plant, height of the root or height of the stem. Which one? That is the apical meristematic tissues. You can see next one, that is the intercalary meristematic tissues. So in intercalary meristematic tissues, it is also type of meristematic tissues. It is also type of meristematic tissues, but that is present in internode portion. It is increasing the length of internodes. We already discussed about what do you mean by internode. The distance between two nodes. The space is there now. That is known as what? Internode. That intercalary meristematic tissue helps to that increasing the length of that internodes. That is a intercalary meristematic tissue. Yes, in the next one, that is the lateral meristematic tissues. It is also type of meristematic tissues. Is help to the increase in the girth of the stem. Girth of the stem. That is the lateral meristematic tissue. So this is about the meristematic tissues in the plant tissue. In the plant tissue, the plant tissues can be divided into two. One is the meristematic, and the other one is the permanent. In the meristematic, apical, lateral, intercalary. Over. Now, let's see that the another plant tissue, that is the permanent tissues. Second one is what? Permanent. Plant tissues can be divided into two types. One is the meristematic, and the other one is the permanent tissues. So permanent tissues is also type of plant tissues, but it is losing that cell dividing capacity. In the permanent tissues, the permanent tissue don't have any cell dividing capacities. See students, it contains non-dividing cells formed by different differentiation process by which cells are modified to perform specific functions. So that is the permanent tissues. Permanent tissues is a type of plant tissues. In the permanent tissues, the cell dividing capacity is not there because in that time the cells are perform specific functions. The cells are perform specific functions. So that is known as what? Permanent tissues. Permanent tissues. So again, it's very important. Listen to me, students carefully. The permanent tissues again can divide into two types. One is the simple permanent tissues. Second one is the complex permanent tissues. Listen to me, student. Permanent tissue is a type of plant tissues. The permanent tissue can be divided into two types. Permanent tissues can be divided into two types. One is the simple permanent tissues. Another one is what? Complex permanent tissues. Understand all of them? So first of all, tissue. Tissue can be divided into plant tissue, animal tissue. Leave that animal tissue. You can see only plant tissue. Plant tissue can be divided into two types. One is the meristematic tissue, another one is what? Permanent tissue. We already discussed in the last class. It is what? Meristematic tissue. Meristematic tissues can be divided into three types: apical, intercalary, lateral. But see in the permanent tissue is also type of plant tissue. Permanent tissue can be divided into two types. One is a simple permanent tissue, another one is a complex permanent tissue. Simple permanent tissue and the complex permanent tissues. Okay, dear students, listen to me. Now, all of you understand about permanent, all of you understand about meristematic and types of meristematic. Now see that in the permanent tissue, simple permanent tissue and the complex permanent tissue. Leave that complex permanent tissue. Now see only simple permanent tissues. Simple permanent tissue. You can see that section of stem. Section of stem. You can see the first layer. That is the epidermis. That is what? Epidermis. Second one is the, you can see that colon-chyma. Second one is what? Colon-chyma. Third one is the parenchyma. Third one is what? Parenchyma. You can see that epidermal cells and the epidermal guard cells. This side. See students, the first of all, simple permanent tissue. We will take a section of the stem. The time we observe a simple permanent tissue starts. So simple permanent tissue is the type of permanent tissues. Simple permanent tissue is the type of permanent tissue. The simple permanent tissue can be divided into four types. One is the very important, that is the parenchyma. Second one is what? Colon-chyma. Third one is what? Sclerenchyma. And last one is the guard and epidermal cells. Guard cells and the epidermal cells. Dear students, very important. That is the first one, parenchyma. First one is what? Parenchyma. So what do you mean by parenchyma? It's very important for 2 marks. What do you mean by parenchyma? Parenchymas are the types of simple permanent tissues. Permanent tissues can be divided into two types: simple permanent tissue and a complex permanent tissue. Listen to me, students. Simple permanent tissues again divided into four types. One is the parenchyma. First one is the parenchyma. Second one is what? Colon-chyma. Third one is what? Sclerenchyma. And fourth one is the guard cells and epidermal cells. Clear all of you? Simple permanent tissues can be divided into four types: parenchyma, colon-chyma, sclerenchyma, and epidermal and guard cells. So first of all, you can see that Parenchyma. What do you mean by parenchyma? See students, the parenchyma cells are the types of simple permanent tissues. These are the types of simple permanent tissues. And parenchyma cells are loosely arranged. Yes, I will show. See students, it is one cell. It is also one cell. It is also one cell. So these cells are loosely arranged. These cells are loosely arranged. There is no attachment in between the four cells. The empty space is there. You can see the empty space. Yes or no? So these empty space is known as what? Intracellular space. Very important for one marks question. You can see that parenchyma cells are the types of simple permanent tissues. The parenchyma cells are loosely arranged. The parenchyma cells are loosely arranged. See students, I have told you. So this is cell. So these cells are loosely arranged. There is no bonding in between the two cells or four cells or three cells, whatever it may be. There is no attachment in between the two cells. You can see the large number of intracellular space, that is empty space. Large number of intracellular space is present in parenchyma cells. Parenchymas are the types of simple permanent tissues. The parenchyma cells are loosely arranged in presence of intracellular space. In presence of intracellular space. Intracellular space, it means what? The space is present in between the two cells or many cells. That is an intracellular space. Okay, there is a gap between the two cells. That is an intracellular space. That large number of intracellular space is present in parenchyma cells. Very important for annual examination. Parenchyma cells. Very important. Parenchymas are the types of simple permanent tissues, and it has a space in between the two cells that is called large intracellular space. In that space, the air is present. Which has to be protein purpose. So that is known as what? Parenchyma. That is also very important. Parenchyma. Parenchyma is also type of parenchyma. What do you mean by parenchyma? The parenchyma cells are present in the parenchyma because the empty space is present in between the two cells. The air is present. In that empty space, air is present. That air is known as what? Parenchyma. Clear? Again, in this parenchyma cells has chlorophyll pigment. That chlorophyll pigment perform photosynthesis. Where? In the parenchyma. So that's why that system is known as what? That cell is known as what? Chlorenchyma. That is known as what? Chlorenchyma. So totally this is known as what? Parenchyma. Are you clear? One more time. Dear students, permanent tissue can be divided into simple permanent tissues and complex permanent tissue. Little complex. Now see only simple permanent tissue. Simple permanent tissue can be divided into parenchyma, mesenchyma, sclerenchyma, guard cells and epidermal cells. So first of all, they understand what do you mean by parenchyma cells. Parenchyma cells are the types of simple permanent tissues. Parenchyma cells are the types of simple permanent tissues, and parenchyma cells are loosely arranged in presence of large number of intracellular space. I already told. What do you mean by intracellular space? The space is in between the two cells. A space is present. Empty space is present. That is known as what? Intracellular space. That intracellular space is present in the parenchyma. It means the cells are loosely arranged. The large number of intracellular space is present in the parenchyma. It means in the parenchyma cells are loosely arranged. And also parenchyma cells has chlorophyll pigment. That chlorophyll pigment perform photosynthesis process. It perform photosynthesis process. So that's why that is known as what? Chlorenchyma. So chlorenchyma is also present in the parenchyma. Chlorenchyma is a type of parenchyma. Clear on it? In the parenchyma cells has chlorophyll pigment. It performs photosynthesis by using the sunlight. By using the sunlight, the parenchyma cells. In the parenchyma cells, the photosynthesis process takes place in presence of chlorophyll pigment. So that's why that is known as what? Chlorenchyma. And also in the parenchyma tissues contain large intracellular space. In between that space, the air is present. Air is present. So that is known as what? Parenchyma. That is known as what? Parenchyma. So parenchyma and chlorenchymas both are types of parenchyma. Both are types of parenchyma. The parenchyma is a type of simple permanent tissue. Simple permanent tissue is a type of permanent tissue. Permanent tissue is a type of plant tissue. Clear all of you? Parenchyma, parenchyma and chlorenchyma. Clear all of you? Yes, tell me students. Okay, students, all of you understand about the parenchyma. Now see, the plants are very flexible. The plants are very flexible due to the presence of that next. That is the collenchyma. That is what? Collenchyma. It is present in the stem portion and also leaf node portion and leaf portion. The plants are very flexible. It is allows to the blend. It is allows to the bend. It is the reason in the presence of collenchyma. The collenchyma is a type of simple permanent tissues. The collenchymas are the types of simple permanent tissues. So these see the collenchyma. The collenchymas are arranged loosely, but not. See, collenchymas also arranged loosely, but in presence of less number of intracellular space. But parenchymas are very loosely arranged, but collenchymas are arranged compactly, but less number of intracellular space is present because see. The collenchyma cells are arranged this time. It is not very closely also, it is not very loosely also. It is not very closely, it is not very loosely. Means it is mediumly arranged in the stems or in the plant bodies. But it has the collenchyma cells has very less number of intracellular space. But parenchyma cells are loosely arranged. There is a large number of intracellular space is present in between the two cells. That is what? Parenchyma cells. But in the collenchyma cells, the less number of intracellular space is present. Less number of intracellular space are present in the collenchyma. Large number of intracellular space are present in the parenchyma. The cells are arranged loosely. The cells are arranged very loosely, and also the collenchyma is responsible for the flexibility of the plant bodies. The stems, you can see the leaves, you can see that the branches are easily bent. It is easily allowed to the bend due to the reasons in the presence of colon-chyma cells. Colon-chyma cells. Clear about colon-chyma tissues. Colon-chyma. Colon-chyma is a type of simple permanent tissues. Colon-chyma cells are loosely arranged. And also it has a less number of intracellular space. Less number of intracellular space. And also the colon-chyma is the main role in the plants. It allows the plants to bend. In presence of colon-chyma, the plant will be to show the flexibility characters. Clear with me? So this is about the colon-chyma. It is about the colon-chyma. Okay, dear students, now we are discussing only permanent. In the permanent tissue, we can discuss only simple permanent tissue. In the simple permanent tissue, we completed only two things. One is the parenchyma, another one is the colon-chyma. Next class, I will continue sclerenchyma and guard cells and epidermal cells. Okay. Thank you so much for giving a wonderful response. If you have any doubts, ask me afterwards. Okay, bye.